Hello everybody, starting the grill first, okay? Alright, I'm going to show you how to first trim the ribs from regular rack. You just take the bottom and you cut all the white bone off. All of it like that. And then this you could save to make another dish. When you have two of them, you can make a little riblet meal, which I'll show you how to make later on in my other videos with the extra trim that you have from your ribs. So now all you got here is all the ribs you're going to use to barbecue. And then I will show you what we spice it up with. I do a dry rub and I also use a base. This here is cumin, chili powder, garlic powder, garlic salt, and fresh cracked pepper. So just lightly put your spices on. Don't be afraid to overspice it because some of this stuff's going to come off. I like to put everything on one side first. Kind of makes sense. And you see what I did? I touched it. So you make sure you wash your containers because you got that contamination on there. And I like to pat that in there, turn it over, and just repeat the process. Simple. You can put whatever spices you want. People onion powder, people put cumin, chili powder, salt, pepper, garlic powder. Or this is actually granulated garlic. Powder's fine, but to me I like to use granulated. See, so that's real heavy. And this right here is just going to go and put in the freezer bag, put it away for the next meal that I make when I decide to make my little pork riblets. And I'm going to show you how to make later on in one of my other videos. So that's it for right now. I'm going to put them on the grill and I'll show you what's next. Alright, next I'm doing a potato salad. This one's a little bit different than what you're used to. This one was made with our eggs that we have because we got chickens. Green onions, bacon, olives, and we're using half mayo, half sour cream, and we're salt, pepper, garlic. And I have to put that together in just a bit. Okay, so I'll show you once I start putting it together. This one is the base I'm using for my ribs. Soy sauce. This is a lighter kind. It's going to take probably a quarter cup. A little bit of oyster sauce. Not much. And then I have this new stuff that I found at the Asian market. People probably use it. I've never used it, but I started using it. It's really good. It's hula hula with a chicken dancing hula. And then there's soy sauce and some other spices, but I like the flavor blend. So all that goes in there, just about another quarter cup or so. And then a little bit of vinegar, not much. 3 or 4 tablespoons. Mix it up really good. And then just set this aside and you baste it on your ribs while you're cooking. You know, every time you decide to flip them or move them over, away from the fire or whatever, you would baste them. That's really it. It's time to put the ribs on. And I usually start them with the bone side down first. And we're doing this part which is called searing. We're just getting the seasoning to stick, like in a nice dark brown, almost black color. Leave it open and let it just stay there. Just leave it open and let it stay there. You're not going to burn them, just stay by them, okay? Just watch them go. Just continue cooking Let that sucker get nice and brown, and then get ready to flip it. Now we're ready to flip them over again. Take a look at the ribs. We got a nice color on both sides. See? Then we move them over a little bit. Put one directly on the heat. About right there. And then we cover and have a zip.
Not a sip, zip. Okay.
A zipperoo. That's it. Okay, now we're ready to make the potato salad. Like I told you, it's not a traditional one. A friend gave me this recipe years ago, and I modified it just a little bit to make it a little more low calorie, I guess, because of the fact that we're not using so much mayo. So, cut your green onions up. I've got 2 bunches of green onions for about maybe, I'd say close to 10, 11 potatoes. And they're red potatoes that have been cooked, and they're still, they're not mashed potatoes, they're just cooked until they're done. It's really simple. You just boil them with the skin on, and that's what they look like when they're done. And they're not really too soft, but they're soft enough. You get your green onions, you put that in there. It's quite a bit. And then you have bacon. This is about 5 or 6 pieces of bacon.
I like bacon.
Who doesn't?
Hey, sister.
I pre-cooked this, and I like it to where it's still not too crunchy and not too soft at all. You can hear it. You want them into nice little bite-sized pieces. You don't want them too big at all. And this salad is quick and easy. I mean, it takes just minutes. Throw that in there. And then your eggs are next. Just rough chop them up. Throw them in there. Rough chop them up. Only because when you mix them, they're going to get smaller. This is my oldest son's favorite salad. He likes traditional potato salad, but this one is the one he really likes. Probably because of the bacon. Alright, so now I'm going to put my garlic powder. We have garlic salt. I don't know how much it's going to need, so right now just put a little bit. And then your pepper, fresh cracked pepper. You can adjust your salt and stuff later. Now your olives, a whole can. Your mayo, that's about a little less than a cup. And then now your sour cream. This is what the main part of it is. This one is more than a cup, at least 1.5 cups of sour cream. You can use light sour cream if you want. You can even use light mayo. Okay. It's all mixed up. See? And then you just put that in a bowl, and this just is going to go in the refrigerator for, you know, as long as you like. Hour, 2 hours, whatever. Or even sooner. I let my potatoes cool down nice and cold, so it doesn't really have to be refrigerated. We can eat it right away, but we're not ready because we got ribs and we still got one more dish to make. I'm going to show you guys today. That one's coming up next. This is all a 3-part into one video because I'm showing you how to cook a complete meal. Nice summer meal. It's the barbecue ribs, potato salad, and what's called calabazas con queso, which is squash and cheese. So, if you like this video, subscribe, tell your friends. And if you want to sponsor us, Best Foods, get on it, you know what I'm talking about? Or Newts and Sour Cream, you want to sponsor us, get on. Check the ribs, see what they're doing. They're looking good. I usually look underneath to see what they're up to. Nice dark color before I flip it. And I told you guys about that base right here. You gotta take a nice spoonful of that and just drip it on, drizzle it on. There you go.
Woo!
Ooh, doggy. Ooh, doggy. Ooh, doggy. Alright, so now that I basted that side, they'll flip over. Now, a lot of people don't really season the backs because it's just that membrane and stuff. I don't care. Everybody gets seasoned. Everybody in the pool. Everybody. Everybody gets seasoned. And Nene, if you're watching this video, you know you can come get some of these ribs.
She wouldn't be.
Come on through, Nene. Come get these ribs. This ain't live, but I'll save you a plate. All right, this is the vegetable side dish. This is the calabazas con queso. There's only 5 of us, so I'm going to just do a side dish of just, small. So this is 3 squash, 1 tomato. Probably use about 4 or 5 pieces of garlic and a half an onion. All right, here we go. So with an onion, cut off the end that doesn't have the root. Okay? And then cut it in half, straight through the root. This makes it easier for you to cut. Peel off the skin. Okay. And then you're going to put a couple slices through the onion. 1, 2, there goes 3, right at the top. And then slice down. We're not doing too much, so we're going to do about maybe 4 cuts. And then, there's little pieces. There's your onions. Okay, and then now the garlic. About 4 of those. Just smash them with the knife. Just put the garlic under your knife and just push. Opens it right up. Push. Or hit it. It's a hard one. Careful, don't cut yourself. Stupid.
Okay, Takeshi 69. Calm down.
Peel your garlic. Peel your garlic. Peel your garlic. Peel it. Now, I'm not going to chop it up too much because since we're doing like a steam on it, it's going to get all the flavor in there for you. So it's not like you have to go real crazy and chop it up. Rough chop. There it is. Tomato. Half. 6 pieces. Turn it over. Cut it. That's it. You don't have to worry about it falling apart. It will. chop the end off with each squash. We want this kind of, I always cut them in half, and then down the middle. So each of them kind of a ½ inch, that's it. You want them big. Don't want them tiny. This is a flash steam. You're not really, it's a partial boil kind of a steam. But you don't want to lose all the nutrients by cooking it too much. At the end of the dish, you drain the water out, most of all of it, and you put Monterey Jack cheese over top of it and turn it off. So when the vegetable's still sitting in the pot, it'll melt your cheese. So that's all it takes to make a great side dish that's really good and good flavor. So I'll show you what it looks like in the pot. This is a calabazas con queso, all cut up. Then we're going to go ahead and put our garlic powder, cracked pepper, yeah, regular pepper, that'll work, but I like cracked pepper. And then your salt. And then this right here, you're going to add a little bit of water. So I'd say maybe about a cup and a half, just to fill the bottom up a little bit. That's it. Give it a mix. Even in that water, give it a mix. Okay? All you would do is put this on a medium-high to steam. Now I wouldn't start this until your ribs are done, because you want your ribs to rest anyways for about 15 minutes. This only takes about 10-15 minutes to cook. You want it to be a little bit tender, but not mushy. So when this is done, I want you to empty the water out so that way it stops cooking. That's it. Let that cook, and I'll show you. Check out the ribs, see what they're doing, see what they look like. Okay, looking good. Remember, baste before you flip. I don't care if it's the back. Anyways, what this helps do anyway is pretty much when you turn it over, it's going to hit that fire, so it's going to steam up and get all over your ribs anyway. So that helps with flavor. Looking good, man. I like to turn them too. There might be one side a little harder than the other, which I know it is. So it's always good to rotate, flip. You can't ever mess up on barbecue if you just listen to these instructions. Rotate, flip, watch it. You know when ribs are done. That little smoke in there, that little, ooh, wee, look at that. Look at that. Ooh, wee. Oh, I wish I had smell-o-vision. So, my fire's getting a little bit less hotter, so you can start moving it towards the direct heat. You notice I'm not all the way direct heat. I use a little bit of what's called indirect cooking. You don't want to burn nothing. So once you do that, let her cook. Check on the ribs, see how we're doing. Remember, before we flip, baste it. Before you flip. And after you flip, you baste it. And always rotate. Flip. Rotate. Nice dark brown color. Almost done. We know when ribs are done, when you take, let's say, the end piece, you let it dangle and you fold it. If it breaks with no pressure or little pressure, it's done. But as you can tell, I'm flipping them over. Look, it's not breaking. So, it's not done. I'd say about 20 more minutes and that's done. So here's how we test if your ribs are done. This is the membrane bone side, okay? Take the end pieces, maybe a couple ribs, turn it over, push a little bit. See how it's tearing? Right there in the middle, it's tearing. It's done. Perfect ribs. Take them off, you're good to go. Let them rest 5 to 10 minutes, good to go. Now we'll make our squash and cheese. Alright, so the ribs are ready. Now we're letting them rest 5-10 minutes. Now we got the calabazas con queso, which is squash and cheese. Gonna turn it to a medium high. We kind of want this to cook a little quick and fast. So when that's getting ready to steam up, which we have a lid on it right now, you can actually take the lid off. You leave the lid on until it starts steaming. So you can take it off. So we're going to cut our slices of cheese. And this depends on how much cheese you want. My mom always made it with a lot of cheese. Just depends on you. And we don't use cheddar, we don't use Gouda, we use nothing but Monterey Jack. It just melts better, and it's just a better flavor with the vegetables. That's really it until we start steaming. And I will show you next when you actually would empty the water from this. I do not want this turned into soup. And there we go. I'll show you what's next. Alright, so here it goes. It's just steaming up. Don't be afraid to give it a little mix as it starts. Once you start seeing that steam, go ahead and cover it. Remember, you need to be here while it's cooking. You need to make sure that it does not overcook and it doesn't have too much liquid. Let that bad boy steam. Good to go. Alright, so this is cooked about 3-4 minutes. Give it a good mix. Remember, we don't want this to overcook. We want it to be still nice and hard, but at the same time not mushy. So now we're going to dump out some of this liquid. So I usually put the spoon right here and dump it into a cup. Why I dump it into a cup? Because Xavier likes to drink the juice. It's like a vegetable soup. Drain as much as you can. Oh, there went the squash. There went another one.
And another one.
And another one. And another one.
Stopping.
Alright, I've drained it already. Back on the fire. Soft, but not hard. Turn it down to low, almost nothing. Now this is the time when you put your cheese on. Cover it. Let it melt. Literally, you can almost turn it off. Sometimes I actually just move it away from the fire. So at this point, I can move it. It's done. Let that melt. That's like 5 minutes. Until then, we'll go ahead and cut our ribs up while that's simmering. I usually start right where it breaks. Right where it breaks. Okay. There. And I start at the end. Rip. 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 How about rip? And rip.
That's a rib right there.
And then we go. Same thing in the middle. Rip. Rip. Now it's up to you. If you want barbecue sauce, serve it on the side. I do not cook ribs with barbecue sauce unless I'm asked to do so. I don't really do barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is a side thing for me. It's a dip. My ribs got enough flavor. They don't need barbecue sauce. They don't need barbecue sauce. The calabazo con queso. Alright. All done. Look at that cheese all melted. See? Don't mix it. You don't really have to. Just serve right here. Okay? Make sure you get some of those tomatoes in there. Okay? Got the potato salad you guys saw earlier. You can remix it when it's all done, but I already mixed it pretty darn good, so we're good. Potato salad. A little bit on the side. The couple of ribs. Stop touching my ribs. And there you go. Potato salad, squash and cheese, ribs. Squash and cheese. Worth it if you take your time. Do a little extra something, but it's not difficult. Okay? Subscribe to my channel. If you like my cooking, you got requests, or sponsor me, I'll let your boy. Thank you, Xavier.
Welcome.